Welcome to the Junior Golf Podcast, a podcast dedicated to helping parents and juniors navigate through the journey of junior golf. From fitness to mental coaching, we cover it all on this podcast. Here's your host, Ro Thompson.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Junior Golf Podcast. I'm your host, Ro Thompson. Man, we got a special guest on the podcast today. It's none other than the great Dr. Veronica Florence-McPherson. How you doing, Doc?
I'm doing fine, and you can just call me Ronnie.
Okay, I sure will. I like that. Ronnie, listen, before we get into all the great things that the Green Ladies of golf are doing, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got in the game of golf.
Okay, well, golf is something that I always liked. I always used to watch it, was always interested in it. But, life came first. And between a husband, children, home, working, just didn't have the time to put into it. So I was mainly on the sidelines, watching it on television, participating every once in a while when I had a little time. And then, as I said, life happened. One kid left, the second kid left. Then my husband got sick, and then he passed, and I was all by myself. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh, you know what? Now's my time. Let me really get into what I've always wanted to do. So around 2005, 2006, shortly after my husband passed, that's when I really put all my effort into it. And I started taking lessons, and it just grew from there.
Now, what attracted you to the game of golf, though?
I'm not really sure, because I had the attraction even before Tiger Woods came on the scene.
Wow.
And there weren't very many, African American or people of color in the game. But there was just something about it, I guess the tranquility and so forth, and seeing people out there, and it was just something about it, the environment, that it attracted me to it. And then, as I said, when my husband passed away and I started playing, it really helped me cope, because being outside, just looking at the green grass, the trees, it just reminded me of how much at peace that he was. And I think that's another thing that motivated me to stay in the game.
That is awesome. Now, did you have any family members other than your husband that played, like dad?
No, nobody else, please. Nobody else. I got some family members that go to, that putt stuff and whatever, but nobody is into it like me. Now, my daughter played in college, but I can't get her on the golf course, and she swears I need a 12-step program.
Gotcha. Yeah, golf is, once you start the game of golf, it's very addictive, and it's hard to let go once you get started, And
it always tickles me when people say, how can you sit and watch golf? It's so boring. Hours. I said, but you don't know how it's scored, because if you do, it will have you sitting on the edge of your seat. And I said, sometimes I have to close my eyes, and I just wait for the sound of the crowd to let me know whether or not the person made that putt or made that shot or whatever. Yeah. But I can't even imagine how people say golf is boring.
Yeah, you're addictive like we are. we're a golf family, so I get the it's
absolutely
passionate, it's addictive, and you just can't let it go, right? So that's
right.
So give us a little background. You're a part of a special organization called the Green Ladies Golf Club. Give us a little history and a little background on the Ladies Golf Club.
The Greens Ladies was formed in 1954.
Okay.
African American women golfers. It was founded by a woman named Lorraine Sawyer, and many of the women who were in the Greens Ladies had husbands that golfed. Okay. And of course, the only time they participated is when the guys were having their tournament and they needed them to sell tickets or fried chicken or whatever. And so they got tired of being golf widows, and so they decided to take up the game on their own.
Right.
And so, as I said, it was formed in 1954, and it's been around ever since. The membership has ebbed, and the tide has gone up and down. Many of the original 54 members are gone. And even the person who brought me into the club has since passed away. Okay. Many of my good golfing buddies have moved on. Right. But we work tirelessly in trying to keep the membership up, and motivating young women, women. And I'm the type of person, if I go into Golf Galaxy and I see a Black woman and I'm like, do you play golf? Right. And they say, oh, no, I'm here buying for my husband, or I'm here buying for my son. Or if I see one and I say, do you play? And she says, yes. I said, have you ever heard of the Greens ladies? And she'll say, no. And then I'll go into my spiel. I pass it. I always keep a card with me. I pass out my card. And she said, well, I usually just play with my husband. I said, yeah, but when you get tired of him hollering at you, just give us a call. Right. So actively recruiting for the club all the time.
That's great. And the Greens ladies is based out of what state?
Well, originally they were based out of Sicklerville, New Jersey, at Freeway Golf Course, which you may not know, but it was the first African American owned golf course in the Delaware Valley, and it closed a few years ago. So now we have a new club now, Walnut Lane Golf Course. That's in Philadelphia. That's our home course. Yes. But we play Philadelphia, New Jersey, Delaware. We rotate around because we have many members in Philadelphia, many members in New Jersey. I think we have one or two from Delaware. Okay. And then we travel. We go to Florida. We go to Myrtle Beach. We travel. And myself, I played in South Africa, New Zealand, Hawaii. So we move around.
That is awesome. Now what's one of the most memorable trips the Greens ladies have taken over the past few years?
I don't know. I can't speak for people individually, but for myself, it was the trip to South Africa.
Oh wow!
And I was on it was at one of the nature reserves. Okay. And I was out. I think I was maybe like on the third or fourth hole, and the gazelles kept running back and forth across the fairway. And I said to the caddy, I said, well, wait a minute. Those things are the lowest thing on the food chain. If they're running, should I be running too? Right. He said, oh, no, madam. They just play. Don't worry. So, and then you had families just kept walking across the fairway. And I kept saying, why are people walking across the fairway? But it was a hippo run on the other side. And people who didn't play golf figure, okay, we'll take the shortcut and go that way, not realizing they could have gotten hit in the head with a golf ball. Golf club, right. So that was one of my favorite trips. Yeah, I can't speak for other Greens ladies, but that was mine.
That was South Africa. That's great. Yeah, getting hit with a golf ball is not pleasant at all.
Yeah, I have been hit, so I know.
Me too. I got hit in the back of the head with a drive, and it wasn't pleasant.
Well, I got hit in the stomach, so I know.
Okay, okay. Now, how do you become a member of the club?
Well, if you know a Greens lady, you can approach us and say, hey, I'm interested in joining your club. Yes. You can go on our website and download a membership application and send it to us. But those are two of the primary ways. Either you go on our website, download the membership application, or you approach a Greens lady and say, I'm interested. I heard about your club. I'm interested. And then I encourage women to say, hey, come out and play with us a couple of times. You don't have to be a member. You don't have to join. Come out and play. See if you like the dynamics of the club and so forth. And if you do, then, put in a membership.
There you go. Test the waters a little bit. See if you even like it.
Right.
That's great. So now what type of, philanthropic endeavors have y'all supported when it, of course, it's the Junior Golf Podcast, and we want to, we like to talk junior golf. And so what type of, efforts have y'all supported when it comes to junior golf?
Well, we support the First Tee program in Philadelphia.
Okay,
The
great.
program at Walnut Lane Golf Course, our home course, we support that course.
Okay.
And then not that but I mean that program.
Right.
And then I came across, I was just surfing on the internet one day and came across a group of kids in Africa being taught how to play golf.
Right.
And they were out in this field. Didn't look like a golf course, but they were out in this field and they had clubs and so forth. And it took me a while, but I was finally able to contact the woman on the internet and said, I told her who I was, the club and so forth, and I said we'd like to support you. Yeah. And so I ended up sending clubs over there to the kids.
Wow. Oh, I know they're appreciative of that.
Yeah, it costs more to send them than it costs to buy them.
Oh.
And it took I think it took about 3 months or so for them to get there because the post office said, well, once they got to a certain point, they couldn't track them anymore. Oh. And so I had to stay in touch with her and say, hey, they're coming. And then finally I got that email message from her. We got them.
Great. Great. That's a great thing that y'all did because, the resources over there are probably next to none.
Right.
So
right.
Clubs and balls and, other equipment that you need. A lot of times we take that for granted in the
right.
state,
Yeah, and I'm preparing a box now with clothes and other things that, unfortunately I probably will never get back into again. Mm-hmm. So I said, rather than hold on to these things, I said, let me pack up this stuff and send it to these kids over in Africa because I'll probably have to have some type of detrimental disease or something to get small enough to get back into some of this stuff in my closet. So
right. Because if it'll just sit there and collect dust,
Right.
Now, why do you feel it's important for the Green Ladies to support programs like the First Tee and other junior programs? Why is that important?
Well, I think because golf has the ability to teach kids, number one, how to play in teams, how the integrity of the game, and you got and math because you got to know how to count.
Yes,
and there's so many aspects of playing golf that are conducive to young people that I think as a group of African American women, we owe it to these young people to support that endeavor. And so I think that's one of the reasons why we support the First Tee program as well as the kids in Africa who don't have nearly the resources that the kids have here.
Right.
But just knowing how many different traits or things that they will accomplish in life because they have golf as a background. And I think that's extremely important.
You are right, Dr. Ronnie. And let me tell you, one of the things that I always use is the fact that golf teaches you about ups and downs. And that's life. It's life. Sometimes you're going to be up, sometimes you're going to be down. And it's not about what you go through. It's about how you go through it. Are you going to stay negative? Are you gonna react in a positive way? So golf teaches you a lot about life. Like you just said, teaches you how to count. That's teaches you how to be honest. About, what your strokes are. So those are some great characteristics.
And not to mention the exercise. And I said, if I had one thing, one wish it would be to be able to walk a 18-hole course carrying a golf bag. And when I see these young kids out there walking and carrying their bags, I'm saying, God, I wish I could do that again.
Hey, listen, my wife and I talk about it all the time because some of my son's tournaments that we go to, we literally walk 7 miles. And so when we walk those 7 miles, the first thing we think about, okay, we walk 7 miles, but the kids are walking 7 miles with 20 to 30 pounds on their back.
Right.
So that's even a better workout. So
Right. You
you're
know,
right.
now when they say you walking or riding, I'm thinking, I look down at my knees and I say, I'm riding.
Right. Right. Yeah, you have to get that walking in when you're young, you know. So so
Uh,
can junior girls get involved with the Greens ladies?
Unfortunately, we can support the first tee program,
Okay.
but we can't have anyone under the age of 18, basically for liability issues. We just couldn't afford to pay for the kind of insurance that we would need for,
To
the liability issues for, anyone under the age of 18.
that makes sense. So as long as they, join, as a part of a first tee program, y'all can support
Right.
it. Okay.
Yes. Mhm.
That's great. That's great. And what type of special events do y'all have coming up that you want to highlight on the podcast today?
Well, on May 28th, we will
Okay.
be hosting our second annual invitational at
Okay.
our home course, Walnut Lane Golf Course. And we encourage people to go on Eventbrite and look for the Greens Ladies Golf Course,
Okay.
Greens Ladies Golf Club, and sign up for our event. As I said, this is our second one. And so we're really hyped up about it. And we're selling tickets already. They're moving along, so if anybody's interested, they need to hurry up and get one.
Now this event that you're having, is it a captain's choice? Is it a women's division? Is it a juniors division? Talk.
It's a juniors division, a women's division, men's division, and a mixed group.
Oh wow,
So yeah, so
that's
if you got a
awesome.
you got a mixed foursome, if you want to
Yes.
play all women, all men, and a junior category, so we don't
Okay.
leave out anything.
Okay. So it is foursomes.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
But
Great.
if you sign up as an individual, we'll just put you in a foursome.
Oh, there you go. Right, right, right. Okay, that's good. That's good. So
Mhm.
it sounds like a captain's choice, where you have four people, and everybody gets a shot you know, at hitting a shot. So, that sounds like what it's going to
Yes.
be. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Good. 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 All right.
Yeah,
So
because we encourage people who don't play often or don't think they don't play well
that
to
makes
come to
sense.
our invitational because it gives you an opportunity to play in a group. You get to play, and it's just not all on you because everybody
Right.
gets a shot on the tee, and
That's
then you
right.
play best ball. Hmm.
That's exactly right. Yeah, those are
Hmm.
fun outings, and people tend to like to be a part of that. Then that way, all the pressure is not on them,
It's all, yeah,
especially if they
right.
can't play that
Mhm.
good. Right.
Right.
So, in addition to that event, what are some of the future plans that you have as the president of the Greens Ladies Golf Club?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question because in 2024 we
Okay.
will be we will be celebrating our 75th anniversary. And
Wow.
we plan to do a whole weekend of events, not just golf. We're planning a health fair.
Okay.
We're going to be showing a film about a woman golfer, but we're putting together a whole weekend of events to celebrate our 75th anniversary,
That's gonna be
and
good.
that will be the Memorial Day weekend 2024.
2024. Okay, good. And y'all gonna host that at Walnut?
We will do what we will do. We're planning to do something there, but we're
Okay.
also planning to do something at other places around the city so we can spread out our events.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That
Mhm.
sounds like something similar. My mother, she's a part of a program called Nexreo, which is, it helps HBCU students, with scholarship money to get into, schools and whatnot. And we do a white wine concert to raise money for that effort. But this upcoming year, we're going to do a golf tournament on Friday. We're going to do a college fair where the kids can come in and register for college, and so we're going to do something similar because what we typically do is we just typically do a concert, but we're going to add a couple of dynamics to it this year.
And when will that be?
Oh, that's going to be Labor Day weekend, Labor Day Sunday weekend, this year.
Oh, okay. My
Yes.
daughter went to HBCU. She graduated from Tougaloo in Mississippi. Mississippi.
Okay. Yeah, I'm an HBCU graduate as well. I graduated from South Carolina State University.
Oh, okay.
Yes. All right, great. Well, it sounds like y'all have some great things going on. Dr. Ronnie, is there any final remarks that you want to leave with our audience that'll be listening to the podcast?
I just want to tell people to come out and support us on May 28th at our second invitational at Walnut Lane Golf Course. And you can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. Just look for Greens Ladies Golf Club. And we also have a website, greensladiesgolfclub.com. And if you want to know more about us, check us out on the web. As I said, Facebook, Instagram. And if you think you want to play golf, or you can play golf, or you just want to come out and hang out a little bit, call us up and come and check us out.
There you go. So that would be Delaware, Jersey,
New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania. So if you live in Delaware, you can still play with us. If you live in Jersey, you can play or you're Philadelphia. Right. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Great. Well, great.
We got something for everybody.
Something for everybody. That's great. Listen, Dr. Ronnie, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Good luck with all the things that the ladies are doing in Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey. Sounds like y'all are doing some great things up there. And I just want to say, keep up the great work, okay?
Well, thank you for the opportunity to let us promote the Greens Ladies Golf Club. I really appreciate it.
All right. You're more than welcome.
Thank you for listening to the Junior Golf Podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. We hope you enjoyed this new episode. And if you did, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Please share this episode with others who may be interested in this topic. Also, feel free to let us know what topics you'd like to see covered in future episodes. Get in touch in the comments or on any of our social media networks. See you next week for a new episode